So I'm with Steve, he has just watched our trailer. Steve, what did you think about White Lies?
White Lies, I think it was pretty good. I personally enjoyed it because I'm invested into like the urban youth kind of theme and genre. So overall, I did enjoy it. Yeah.
Responding to Steve's answer to question one about how he said it applies to a younger audience, that does actually fit in with what we're trying to improvise. We're trying to let the trailer apply to younger audiences, mainly younger men who are working, so age about 18 to 24. So, Kieran, do you think that applies as well?
Yeah, I agree with that still, to be fair.
Kieran was actually in the production as well, so... And how old are you?
I'm 18.
He's 18. So the fact that we have a younger casting as well helps a bit as well. He also said how it was an urban environment as well, and that's exactly what we're trying to show, because it was set in Bromley, which can be said to be quite urban in some areas. So yeah. What did you think about the mise en scène?
I think the costumes used in your trailer fit the genre really well, like the coats and jackets.
So in response to Will's answer about mise en scène, I do agree with him a lot because we used a variety of costumes. So having hoodies, suits, things like that that actually make a hood thriller what it really is. Or not hood thriller, like a drug thriller, because you would associate hoodies and suits with drug culture. Did you feel it stuck to conventions, or do you think it went against them?
Yeah, definitely. In terms of conventions, I did think it stuck to it. Even develop it at times with the whole, especially through the mise en scène. I think it really did provide an idea of what the film is, and so going into watching the film trailer, it's very obvious that it's about urban youth. So yeah, it did stick to the conventions.
In response to Steve's question 2, he said how it fits in with like the convention setting as well. So the use of hoodies and suits. And that was on purpose as well, because you usually associate hoodie culture with gangs in an area like this as well. Yeah. Did you feel that it sticks to the conventions, or that it challenges conventions of drama?
I think it sticks to its conventions by using a lot of dark scenes.
In terms of Will's answer to the conventions, I think it was true, like what he said about the dark areas. I mean, yeah, that was true, because with thrillers you tend to see like dark areas of a certain person's life, hence the reason why it's a thriller / drama. Chima, do you think there's any other way conveyed?
No, I agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, with a thriller there could be more to it other than dark scenes, so you could have like, oh, who killed this, or who done that to someone, who cheated on them, etc. Did you feel that the cinematography fit the genre?
Yeah, definitely. The cinematography had a mixture of like low angles, high angles to kind of show who's an authority and who holds more power over the other person. Obviously there was about 5 people that I saw, and although they all represented themselves very equally, you can see the difference in who owns like more money or who owns more power, etc.
So in response to Steve's question 3, he said how cinematography such as low angle shots, high angle shots represented authority, and that's exactly what we were trying to show. So when we showed some low angle shots, so for example the drug scene, you could see that it was like the low angles are represented dominance between some characters. So where it was low angle on the drug scene, it was like the audience was at the bottom and they were the ones like who... So resuming, so in terms of the low angle shots, it shows that the audience are like the mice, if you would say, like they're the ones looking up at them as if they are like the upper people, they're the people that have the most dominance, and I think that really helps portray what type of feeling we're trying to show. So in terms of conventions, that would fit, because in a thriller you're seeing the characters demonstrated in a way like they have authority over other people. Does the cinematography fit the genre?
Yeah, I think it does. The low angles and the close-ups create a dramatic effect.
In response to Will's answer in terms of the cinematography, he also spoke about the low angles and things like that, and that's pretty much what Will and Steve have mentioned, and that's pretty much exactly what we've wanted to show. And it's obvious, it's evident that we've shown it. The low angle of the audience being the ones who have the less authority. That's what we wanted the audience to feel. we wanted them to feel as if they are the ones like they're just the normal civilians, and then watching these high class drug dealers doing their things. What was your opinion on the soundtrack / music scene?
It was definitely great. It had like a fast-paced feel to it. You know, the tempo was kind of fast. It had this high pitch and low pitch, so obviously it kind of kept you on edge, and it very much fitted what was going on to the screen. So very good.
So in response to Steve's question about music scene and soundtrack, he said how the soundtrack had you on edge, and that really was what we were trying to go for. So one of the soundtracks was as if the character, so Juice, had made it. It was just playing like it was a calm hip hop type of beat, and then we wanted the audience to feel as if like he's living a lavish life. That's why you could tell with how it starts. So like, it's a bit slow at the start, and then like towards the end of it, it's just going upbeat and upbeat. And then in terms of the second soundtrack, it was like a dark type of song, which is also what we wanted to show because you could see his dark side of his life. Hence the fact that it's Juice. He has one side that's lavish and the other side that's dark, like his drug dealing side. And then, yeah, do you have anything to add to that?
I think the different types of music used matched the scenes well. It made me really get in with what I was watching.
What would you say about how we edited / done our trailer? I mean, would there be things you would improve?
So how you edited the trailer, I thought it was pretty good. You know, it stuck to the conventions and developed the conventions. Anything you could improve, I'd say add more people who talk. Obviously you have one person on the phone who's actually talking to Erkan, so perhaps if more people were involved in terms of dialogue and voiceover, it would help like increase and make the narrative more clear.
In response to Steve's answer about the question about the editing and the way we done our trailer, he mentioned how we could have included more people, and I think I kind of agree with that, because if we added more people, so in terms of having one person on the phone and then showing another person who's on the other line, that would have portrayed a more professional look, in my opinion. And I think in terms of our editing, we could have done more. So we could have added a bit of effects to it, could have added gunshots to it, and like more techniques, so fadeaways and just things like that. Chimo, what do you agree with the fact that we should have done more editing, or do you think it was fine how it was?
I think it was fine how it was. Yeah, I really like the editing.
And finally, where do you think we could improve?
I'd say more locations. Obviously there was a lot of locations shown, such as in Bromley, Paris. However, I feel like the trailer would have gone in deeper if we actually diverse inside the locations and we actually were established in the locations.
In response to Steve's answer to what we could have improved on the trailer, I do agree with him to some extent, and the reason I say that is because we only included, let's say, 3 locations, and I mean we could have added more, but the locations we actually chose, so France, a town as well, a house and a shop, I mean they were pretty good, but we could improve on it by, let's say, adding central London, adding a place where like a police station as well, because since in the story I'm conveyed as a police officer, we could have tried to get into a police station, but we could have actually had trouble doing that because of obviously safety reasons and permission, and that would have been a risk. Hence the reason why we only use the locations we know we would have got access to be using. Chimo, do you think we could have used more locations, or was the locations fine as it was?
Yeah, I think the locations were fine. The fact that the clip involved another country was quite good, so yeah.
Another country could show that it was actually professionally done as well. I mean, the type of shots we got in it with as well, the fact that we showed the main character being there, it really does show his lavish lifestyle. What were the parts you enjoyed the most?
I think the drug deals were the best bit because they create a lot of suspense.
In terms of the parts we enjoyed the most, he said how it was the drug dealing parts, and I think that is the parts we really wanted the audience to get engaged with, because that was literally the main base of the whole story. I mean, Chima, do you think there's any other part of the story that the audience could enjoy the most?
No.
Yeah, it was literally just the drug dealing part for me and Chima as well.